In this video, I'm going to show you how we can do a hip flexor stretch. The hip flexor is one of the group of muscles in the front of our hips. Predominantly, if let's say you were to wear a pair of trousers, you're going to see the area where your pocket is at. That is roughly where the hip flexor will be. Hip flexor is mainly used whenever we are doing a knee raising action, such a way that we need to bring our leg upwards. The TFL is a group of muscles in the front of the hip that is mainly used for hip flexion, meaning we are bringing our knee up towards our chest. So basically, as you can see on my left side, whenever we are trying to bring our knee to a 90-degree angle with respect to our body, the hip flexor is the one that is doing the work first in order to bring it up. In order to do a hip flexor stretch, you would need a few more items than necessary. You can either use a yoga mat or you can use a towel, fold it up, put it underneath the knee that's going to be on the floor. In this case, for this video, I'm going to be using my right side in order to demonstrate this stretch. So for you, please ensure yoga mat or a towel folded underneath the knee. You're also going to need a chair if you need it, if let's say your stability is not as well. However, if you have good core control, good core strength, I believe you're able to do this stretch without the chair. And I will be showing this as well in this video. For this stretch, you're going to first begin in a position where I call the 90-90, whereby your front knee is at a 90-degree angle and your back knee is at a 90-degree angle. From here, as I'm demonstrating using the right leg, I'm going to bring my left foot forward by one step. At this point, the angle on my high knee is going to be greater than 90 degrees. What's following next is that you're going to shift your body weight forward so that this knee is now 90 degrees. Your back knee should now be more than 90 degrees. And your body should be leaning forward. You should start to feel a stretch in the front here, which is where your hip flexor is. Once you feel this stretch, maintain this position for 10 to 15 seconds. As you can see, I'm also using the chair next to me for support. So please take note, right leg, right side support. Left leg, left side support. You can again, once you get used to this, come back, bring your leg forward a little bit more, and go back into that position for another 10 seconds. Once done, relax, bring your knee back, and switching to your left side, repeating for 3 to 5 sets in total. Now, if let's say you're one of those people with good core control and good core strength, you can also do this stretch without a chair. This will give you a much stronger stretch. However, balance is key and you should take care and caution not to lose your balance and fall over in the process. We are going to repeat the same steps throughout the whole process. Again, 90-90, one step forward or a little bit more than that. Slowly bring your weight forward until this knee is about 90 degrees and you feel a stretch in the hip flexor. As you can see, I am trying to maintain my balance with both hands on my thigh, or you can always have your right hand hanging by the side. Once you are ready, you will then proceed to the next step in order to increase the intensity in the right side of your leg by right side, right hand, bring it by the side, raising up from the front until it's slightly past 180 degrees. You should feel the stretch intensify in this position and you hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds. Once done, lower the hand, bring the body back and repeat for your left side, 3 to 5 sets. Now you might notice that as I'm doing the stretch, you might not be able to see the foot that's on the floor. Some of you might be wondering how we should be placing the foot on the floor in order for more comfort. There are two ways that you can do this. Either one, you prop your foot up on the toes, as you can see in the picture now, or you can also place the dorsum or the back of your foot flush against the floor, as in the picture now. Either way, most important is for comfort, such a way that you can stretch comfortably, because some people might have some ankle issues that prevent the leg from placing it flush against the floor. As I've been practicing TCM, I've noticed a trend for hip flexor problems. Now, if you are an office worker where you're always sitting at the desk position, whereby you're always in a 90-degree angle, chances are over time you're going to develop tight hip flexors along with back and everything else. So what I like to advise to some of my patients who are also always at the desk sitting down, or you're always in a seated position, would be to stretch the hip flexors every night whenever you can. Sometimes whenever I'm doing tuina for my clients, I've noticed that whenever I reach the hip flexor area, it's going to be a little bit more sensitive and sore whenever I'm trying to manipulate that joint. And often, after I'm done with that, client gets up, he starts walking, and there's quite a big difference whenever he feels before and after the treatment. Now, there are also some people who have tight hip flexors because of repeated running. If you think about it, whenever you're doing a run and you're bringing your knee up a little bit more in order for the next step and the next stride to come in, you're actually engaging a little bit of your quads as well as also your hip flexors. So for runners who are starting to develop knee problems or tight thighs, I would suggest that they also do a hip flexor stretch. And finally, there are also some cases where tight hip flexors actually affect lower back pain, whereby with the tight hip flexors, it causes your hip to go into a slight tilt, putting more pressure on the back muscles. So whatever position that you choose to place your foot in, please remember to put your foot in that position first. So either it's up or it's flush down. Please choose one position first before you do the stretch. Do not try to change the foot position halfway during the stretch, as it may cause you to lose your balance or put unnecessary stress on your knee.